The Beyond the Fame podcast is fed by Lido Pizza. Lido Pizza never cuts corners. For menu and locations, visit LidoPizza.com. And of course, this podcast would not be possible without our longtime title sponsor, the Hollywood Casino at Charlestown Races in West Virginia. Upcoming featured August entertainment includes Jamie Johnson on August 9th and the $1 million Charlestown Classic Race and Festival on August 22nd. Enjoy live racing and live entertainment featuring Amanda Shires, Maggie Rose, and Susto. Free fun for the whole family. Details and tickets at HollywoodCasinoCharlestown.com. Must be 21 to enter the casino floor and attend a show. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Welcome to the newest episode of Beyond the Fame with Jason Fraley. I'm your host, Jason Fraley, picking the brains of the top filmmakers, musicians, and artists of our time. Ben Schwartz brings his comedy tour, Ben Schwartz and Friends, to MGM National Harbor in Oxon Hill, Maryland on September 6th. He joined me to preview the show and reflect on his hilarious career from Parks and Rec to the After Party to Sonic the Hedgehog. Hey, Ben Schwartz. Hey, thank you so much for joining the show today.
Hi, thanks for having me, Jason. How are you?
Great. Wife and I are longtime fans of your work. We are cracking up at the possibilities of this conversation. So we should tell everyone you're coming to MGM National Harbor, just outside of the nation's capital, right across the river in Maryland. And it's going to be September 6th, and you're calling it Ben Schwartz and Friends. So who are the friends? You have friends?
It's a secret. So every show, I bring three people with me from LA, and we get on stage, but you never know who they're going to be until they get on stage, which I think is kind of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's probably easier for you scheduling wise because you can just put and friends and then you can call some friends up the last minute, see who's available. It works out.
What really happens is I'll book these, months in advance, but then people get busy and they cancel. So it's also a bummer if I have these are the people coming, and then 5 days before one person's like, I can't make it, I got to stay home. And so it's like, it helps with that. It makes it harder for scheduling because then I have to at the last second be like, yeah. But so far it's been really good. I have a rotating cast of 10 people. So out of those 10 people, I bring three for each show.
Nice. Well, you were our draw all your own. It really could just be Ben Schwartz and people would show up and sell out.
Very kind. I appreciate it. Yeah.
Who are some of the friends that have done in past ones? We're not saying that they will come to this, but who is in the rotating? Yeah.
I have to look at the list to see who's coming to this one, but people come are Drew Tarver from Running Point, Jess McKenna from Dropout, Mary Holland comes, Lauren Lapkus from the earliest show. We have Colton Dunn from Superstore comes quite a bit. Ryan Gall from Comedy Bang Bang. Gil Ozeri, who writes for Big Mouth. These are Brandon Scott Jones, who's on Ghosts, does a few.
Yeah.
So those are a bunch of the people. Eugene Cordero from Lower Decks. He's amazing. He's great. And
others that you have to come and it might be a surprise. You never know.
It might be you, Jason. You might be coming on stage with us. Get the crowd excited for Jason.
Let's go. No, but in terms of the format, it's totally improvised, right? You guys don't plan anything. Are you just sitting on stools and just riffing, or how does it go?
No, good question. So what we do is at the very beginning, I come out and I ask a question of the audience, and then there's an usher that has a microphone. So we have nothing planned. We literally think of nothing beforehand. We ask the audience, what's the most exciting day or night of your life? And then everybody raises their hands and we go around, and if someone has a terrible answer, we were like, ah! And then if we find a good one, we give them a microphone, and then we talk to them like an interview, like this, for 10 minutes. And then that's all we have. And then we do what we're doing for you guys is we're gonna do two shows with an intermission. So we're gonna do one show, take an intermission, and another show. And then we're gonna try to connect both shows together. That's what the fun is. I'm doing, the only note I got from the tour the past 4 years is, people wish it was longer, so we just made it longer this year. So
great.
You get way more show, and that's it. But it's long scenes that all connect, and we try to find a way to make a story out of it, and the characters you care about and stuff like that. It's almost like a funny play that we're playing with, and then but everything is made up on the spot. So the whole goal is that show exists in that moment for those people, and never again. It disappears forever.
I love that. Yeah, so you have to go. It's a one time only in
That's
the
right.
room energy. It's great. You mentioned sometimes you'll throw out what's the most memorable night of your life. And that got me thinking when I saw the date of this show, September 6th, at least to me, because I'm a Maryland boy. I don't know about in DC. September 6th is kind of a sacred date because you will be there. It'll be the 30th anniversary of a very important September 6th, 1995, when my Cal Ripken broke your Yankee Lou Gehrig streak was on September 6th.
That's incredible, by the way. I had no idea. I remember watching that when I was a kid, that being such a big day.
Oh, yeah. So I don't know if there's any improv, any riffing you could do. I don't know. I'm just trying to plant the seed now, and then you have a couple weeks to
Well,
play.
then now we can't do it because we just talked about it. So we
Yeah,
can't
true. Because the whole point is it's got to be
screw up the
improvised.
whole thing, Jason. Now
I
it's over.
ruined everything. Interview
Now
over.
I can't do it. Although I
Why
will
did you
say
come on the show? We're ruining the material.
it was a mistake. I don't know what I was thinking. You know what I mean?
I'm joking. I'm joking. But that is somewhat of a segue. So you grew up like right. I said the Yankees, but you grew up in the Bronx, right? You were born
Yeah.
in
I grew up in
81. Yeah.
Yeah, 1981. I grew up in the North Bronx in a place called Riverdale, and my dad was a huge Yankees fan. So when I was in high school, every night we were watching a Yankees or Knicks game. Literally every single night. There's so many baseball games in a year.
Yeah.
So after dinner, we'd go to there and we'd watch and talk and stuff like that. It was always a part of. It's like a part of my childhood. I love it.
So you, but and gosh, 81. So yeah, you would have been prime for Derek Jeter and Mariano
Oh
Rivera,
my
all
God,
those
you kidding
guys.
me? It was heaven. I
Yeah.
got the end of Mattingly, and then I got Jeter and that whole thing, and
Yeah.
it was gorgeous.
Joe
Scotty
Torre.
Brosius, we did the
Yeah.
whole thing.
Oh, all of them. We can all name them all. Paul O'Neill. Remember, it was yeah.
Louis Soho.
Oh,
I'm trying to
it
do
was,
the more obscure ones.
yeah. Although, but your Knicks would have. They were great, but couldn't get over the hump of Jordan. But you had some. That was the Patrick Ewing and John Starks.
93,
Yeah.
94 was 93, 94. I was the year that when we lost to the Rockets, which I think it was that year, had to be that year, right? 93, 94, 94. I think 93, 94.
It was when Jordan took his break to play
Yeah,
baseball.
we had one shot. We had
Yeah.
one shot. We had
But you
one.
do get two.
That's true, by the way.
The after party. We'll get to that later. But
But I remember after that thing, it was so funny because I was so heartbroken,
yeah.
and where we had a little hoop outside my house when we
Yeah.
moved from the Bronx to Westchester in the suburbs, and my dad's like, you can't shoot around at night. I love playing basketball, and he's like, you can't shoot around at night because
Yeah.
you wake up the neighbors.
Yeah.
And I was so sad, and I was so angry. I was like this high school like angry. I was like, when they lost, I go, Dad, I have to shoot around. I mean, okay, just this once. And then I put the light, put like a terrible light on. I knew when you're a kid, you're like a terrible light on the hoop.
It was like you were interrogating. Where were you Friday night, Hoop?
Exactly right. Exactly right. That
Yeah.
you can't really see anything. And I shot around and was so angry. Just like shot for like an hour and a half.
Wow. Awesome. Well, I'm glad you met. So yeah, you played basketball growing up, but you also like sang in the chorus, right? I've always thought it was important to be, well-rounded. You know what I mean? I've loved theater and film, but I also play football. You can do it all. I don't like how these shows pigeonhole us. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I love when I was in high school, I played on the basketball team. I ran cross country and I sang in the chorus and I sang in Elk County chorus and madrigals. I loved all of it. I was too scared to audition for the musical and find out I wasn't good enough, so I never did. I never performed really because I was too terrified to find out that I was bad. But that's like a part of me also that I had to get better at. In college, same way. I didn't try out for the improv team because I was afraid of failing, and then I had a girlfriend at the time that pushed me to do it, and I did it. But
This was at Union College near Albany,
Jason,
class
you're
of
great.
'03.
If you don't have a Word document up on your screen right now, I will be blown away.
I do for this, but by the way, if it's movie dates, it's just up here. Like say any year, say a year, say a year.
Independence Day,
96, and do the other way. Say a year.
1986.
Platoon, won Best Picture,
Keep going.
and Blue Velvet, and oh yeah, and Hannah and her sisters, and The Fly, and I got it all up there. I don't know why. It's weird.
2003.
Lord of the Rings: Return of the King win.
Wow. When did the first one come out? When did
01,
Fellowship? My God.
2001. Yeah.
What's your
I don't-
favorite movie?
Oh, that's impossible.
It's not impossible. Pretend I'm Letterboxd and give me your top four.
Oh God. I don't know. Like it's there. See, it's hard. I almost have to do like 2 fours because there's the ones I grew up with, which were like, that I quote all the time. So it's like Indiana Jones and, Back to the Future and Home Alone and Forrest Gump. Those are like the ones I read. And then you go into like film school and I'm like, oh, The Godfather and Vertigo and you know what I mean? Like stuff like that. So It's a Wonderful Life. How about you? Comedies.
Comedies, Dumb and Dumber is my probably favorite comedy of all time. I think that would probably be number one.
We got no food. We got no jobs.
Our pets' heads are
heads are
falling
falling
off. I think that Jim Carrey run was one of the, and when he did Ventura to Mask to Dumb and, or Ventura, well, you would know better than I do. Was it Ventura, Dumb and Dumber Mask?
No, it was all in '94. It was Ace Ventura, Mask, and Dumb and Dumber all the same year.
Can you think of a
Insane.
better 1 year run of any actor of all time?
No.
And then he became the biggest movie star of all time.
And then he was Dr. Robotnik to your Sonic.
It's great. It's literally the most surreal thing in the universe.
Yeah.
I remember
Incredible.
the first time when we had worked together and we become friends and he's the best. And I got like a text from him and it said his name when it came up. It was like Jim Carrey. Hey Ben. I'm like, huh. Because I've known of him for my entire life, and I've been in awe of what he can do for an entire life. And then you connect with someone, they're just humans, and
Yeah.
we're just people, and it's so exciting. That
Yeah.
those moments are really exciting. But my top four would probably be Back to the Future, Dumb and Dumber. I'd probably put in my top four. I want to
Yeah.
put an animated thing in there, so I probably Aladdin or Up. Pick one
All
of
right.
those. And maybe Jurassic Park. I think Jurassic Park meant a great deal to me when I was. But
Same.
dude, Home Alone was unbelievable. Jaws is a
Yeah.
perfect movie, but
Yeah.
I watched it when I was older. But so like Back to the Future to me was the first one. I was like, oh, this is what a movie is. I want to watch these all day. I want to watch
Yeah.
these all day.
Yeah.
I never even thought that I could be a part of making it. I just was like, I watched Jurassic Park 5 times in the movie theater. Five
It's
times.
unbelievable. To me, if you want to paint a whole arc of movie history in terms of like special effects movies, monster movies, it's King Kong in 33 and Jurassic Park in 93. Those just bent the curve of the arc, I think.
It's crazy. And also when Matrix came out was a huge
Oh, yeah.
deal. You did that bullet time stuff. I mean, you and I could talk movies for I
Oh,
love
we could. But yeah, but it's a good point because I could go into like the film theory and talk Fellini and whatever all day, but you go back to those ones where like my wife and I were just quoting, "Hey, I'm watching rubbish. You better come out and pound me." We quote it all the time. Home Alone is so.
Daniel Stern in the Home Alone movies is
Yeah.
unbelievable. Oh, have you noticed this, Jason? Who cares? This is what we're doing now.
We're riffing. It's all right. We'll get back
I
on track
noticed that,
later. It's
like,
fine.
when I was a kid, I'd love movies and watch like a character and be obsessed with a character. And then when I get older, like Men in Black is a perfect example when I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm obsessed with Will Smith and Tommy Lee Jones. But then when I watch it when I'm older, I'm obsessed with Vincent D'Onofrio. I'm like, oh my God.
Wait, is he the one
so
that's like sugar water?
Yes.
Inhabited by the alien? Yeah.
It's amazing. And then when you're a kid, Home Alone is always Macaulay Culkin. Then when you're
Yeah.
older and you do comedy, it's Daniel Stern and
Joe Pesci. Yeah, of course.
Daniel Stern's physical comedy in it is like remarkable. He's like a tour de force in those movies.
Screaming at the tarantula yeah, absolutely. It's incredible. My brother, I have a twin brother. When we went to see that at age 6, it wasn't snowing when we went in the theater. It was when we came out. So movies are magic in my mind. But we went home and made our own called Boy by Himself. So original. Anyway, hey, I'm gonna get back to we were going chronologically. You were at Union College before we took that tangent, but you go down to Manhattan to Upright Citizens Brigade, right?
That's right.
Right.
Yes.
Okay.
Went to Manhattan, Upright Citizens. And by the way, a lot of people from Union ended up in DC or Arlington, Virginia. So
cool.
I went down to DC quite a bit to see them. And I perform every year either in DC or around DC. So this is my show around DC for the first
And they might be some of the friends that show up. You got to come, folks.
Some of my college friends, that would be.
You never know. All the stories they could tell.
Who've never done improv before, that would be crazy.
So you're doing Upright Citizens in New York.
Yes.
So how do you transition to late night comedy? Was it Conan first, Letterman, or was it Weekend Update, SNL?
Great
Which
question,
was
man? It was Letterman first. I was 21 years old. I just got out of college. I printed out a bunch of my resumes. I put them in my backpack, and I was walking down Manhattan. I snuck into the MTV building with my friend Nick Gibbons.
Nice.
We snuck in by saying that we were there for an internship and someone please whatever. And then when we took the stairs, and there was a gentleman who just spoke Spanish, and I knew Spanish way better then than I do now. And I said, "What floor is MTV?" And he said, "This floor." And I said, "Can you just unlock the door for me?" Unlock the door. I went to the president's office. Right? It's obviously not him. It's like an assistant.
Sure.
And I said, "Hey, I'm supposed to give my resume to MTV." And the woman says, "I think you're on the wrong floor." And I said, "This is MTV, right?" Because there's like a big dollar bill with like someone go like that. And they're like, "This is the president's office." And I said, "Well, surely he can get me a job." And she's like, "No, go downstairs. There's an internship desk." And so then I got to go through the legal way of going through the elevator, handed in my thing, and saw them literally take it and fucking throw it out. Literally throw it out. So I was walking down Broadway in Manhattan, kind of sad with Nick. And then people from Letterman were like, "Hey, we need people from the audience. Anybody want to come watch a show?" And I saw people there like recruiting people and also, making people happy before they get in the show. I was like, "Oh, dude, Letterman, I'm like, this is my idol. I'd love to, can I do this?" And the guy goes, "Well, I'd love to help you, but you need a resume." And I had literally 100. So I gave him all my resumes as a bit. And he's like, "All right." And so he set up an interview. So I started as a page in Letterman for $10 an hour. I forget how much I made. It's whatever minimum wage was. Maybe it was less. Gave people tickets and I showed them where the bathroom was and worked that into my friend Greg Volk was working there, helped me get a job being a freelance monologue writer, which means I faxed in jokes. So I had to buy a fax machine.
You
Fax it.
faxed jokes in for the Letterman monologues. That's
Yeah,
amazing.
and then so I was a freelance monologue writer for Letterman. Then people in SNL found out I was doing it there and asked if I could do it for Weekend Update, and they allowed me to do it there.
But you
Yeah,
never phoned it in. You just faxed it.
always fax, always fax.
That's great.
Yeah,
Okay, so it went from Letterman to Weekend Update. Who were the hosts at the time? Was it Jimmy and Tina, or who was the when you were doing it?
it was Amy and Tina, and then the only time I got jokes on was when Tina was having a baby, so she was out, and then Horatio Sands filled in for her, and I got jokes on for like the couple weeks that she was out there, and I was like, oh, this is amazing. But I was submitting for a year and a half. It was a lot.
Wow.
That's what like my website rejected jokes started as.
Yeah.
All the rejected jokes that didn't get on the air because I had literally thousands of them.
That's great. Okay, that's great. So this is all in the early 2000s, and then Conan starts in what? The year 2006.
Conan was me just doing like bit parts. Like I was a robot. You never saw my face. I was like a
Okay.
page. Like I pretend to be a page.
He had a
And
million characters. Yeah, it was great.
yeah, and half of them didn't. I didn't even get on the air. We filmed
Yeah,
them. They didn't use them. But that
yeah,
was like money. I needed money
yeah,
desperate. Of course, I needed money desperately. I'm making ten
yeah,
dollars an hour, so that was a huge. Just and also I got to be on TV and I got to
yeah,
be around like
yeah,
really talented people and writers. It was a
yeah.
huge deal.
And we're not going to tangent into this because I want to keep it about your career, but just I want to say I mourn what's happening to Colbert and late night. It's in such a weird spot right now. I hope we can keep it going as a medium
Yeah, I
in whatever
wonder.
form. Yeah.
I'm so curious because I love Colbert. I
He's
mean,
hysterical.
I've done
Him and Jon Stewart. I mean, geniuses.
they're amazing. I mean, also where you're at, you're so close to DC. I feel like
Yeah.
those two shows especially resonate pretty big
Oh,
over there.
oh
But
yeah. I saw they did a rally to restore sanity back during the Tea Party opposition to Obama. Like we're talking a while ago.
yeah.
And it was down on the National Mall and Colbert and Stewart hosted it. And Ozzy came out and played Crazy Train and then
Really?
Cat Stevens came out and played Peace Train. It was like a dueling, and then Colbert and Stewart were like, "We gotta settle this." They bring out the OJ's and they play Love Train. My only time ever seeing Ozzy. Yeah, yeah,
Oh my God. Yeah, he's amazing. I'm so curious because obviously I freelanced for Letterman. I was a page for Letterman, and
yeah.
then I did what come on Ben, you can do this. Who is the Late Late Show? Craig Ferguson.
Craig Ferguson.
I did I was a guest on his show like 5 or 6 times. Then I was the person, me and Allison Janney were the two people who did Corden the most. Like, I think it was
Oh,
13,
nice.
14 times.
Yeah,
And I've done every single show, so it was like I really love late night a
yeah.
lot. To see it kind of slip away a little bit is kind of scary, but then I'm starting to learn that like things are just get like it's just happening where things are
Things
different. Like
change.
everything's streaming. I was talking to I did some Q&A with some people who were far younger than me and like or even people in casting and I was like, yeah, it wasn't always self-tapes. It wasn't always me taping myself in a room. It was
Yeah,
me going into somebody,
yeah.
going in front of a casting director, them giving me notes, and the director's there, you know what I mean? And now it's so much just like you film yourself or you're over Zoom. I was
Dude,
like,
you were faxing in jokes, and now there's web
I
series.
had to
Yeah.
buy a fax machine and buy a landline to send the joke. So anytime I got a joke on, it was just paying off that stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the cost of operate. Yeah.
Yeah,
Wow,
man.
that's wild. All right. Well,
So
you mentioned
how old are you? Are you 40?
I just turned 40. Yeah. Or
40.
actually, not just. I'll be 41 this fall. So yeah.
Oh, not just, I'm 50 years old.
Yeah. Yeah. So I guess we're both officially old. Not that old, but you're a little younger than me. I'm a 1984 baby. So.
I'm 81. I'm older than
Oh
you.
yeah, you are older. I'm good at math too.
You're great at math. Great at math.
You know what number I know well?
Three.
Entertainment 720. Bam, 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 bam. We're talking Parks and Recs. You're on that show as Jean Ralphio from 2010 to 2015, and then the little whatever comeback show, the reunion, whatever.
Yeah.
But was that meant as like a guest spot? But then you and Aziz were so hilarious that they're like, we got to keep bringing you back.
Dave whatchamacallit, it was Katie Dippold, who's an incredible writer, wrote that episode, I think, with Harris Whittles, RIP, who's an incredible writer as well. And the character, by the way, the way I got it was crazy because I had a meeting about a different character. There's a character there who was a cop who was going to be Leslie Knope's boyfriend that Louis C.K. played.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
I had a meeting about maybe being that, and they're like, you're too young for that. But then Mike Schur goes, but you know, we're like The Simpsons, where like these characters can come in and out. And there's a
Yeah.
Millhouse, and I was like, all right, cool. So I didn't know, but they called my agency, and my agent wasn't there, and the person covering his desk picked up, and they offered me the role, and that person turned it down without me knowing. And then Katie called me and was like, I thought you wanted to be on the show. I just wanted to double check before we move on. And I go, what are you talking about? And I never heard anything back. I go, I'm in. Whatever it is, I'm in. I don't even care. Don't even tell me what the role is. I'm in. And she goes,
Yeah.
oh, good, good, good. So she told me it's just one scene.
Yeah.
But the hope is that if it works well, that maybe you'll do some more. You know, like Mike wants it to be like a fun character that we can come back to. And it went really well. And then the next couple went really well. And then all of a sudden I was in 21 episodes. And it's one of my favorite things I've ever done in my entire life.
It's one of my all-time favorite shows. My wife and I'd seen several, random episodes and thought it was hilarious, but during COVID, my wife was like, "No, we need to binge it start to finish." One of the best.
Everybody's so good in that show.
Literally every character would go on to be Amy Poehler, Nick Offerman, Aziz Ansari, Chris Pratt, Aubrey Plaza, Rashida Jones. I mean, Rob Lowe, Adam Scott. I mean, come on.
You have Chris Pratt and you have Paul Rudd, who's Ant-Man. Both of them are in it. And then Adam Scott, Aubrey's, all these people are like the biggest movie stars in the world.
Doing huge things now. I know. It all started there. Is John Ralphio there for a second? Because I'm thinking that
Are you James Lipton right now?
Yeah, can we do like an Entertainment 720, like promoting the show at MGM?
Ask me whatever questions you want.
All right.
Great.
I'm not Tommy Haverford. I'm Jason Fraley, but Entertainment 720 with John Ralphio. Bam, 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 coming to MGM. Are you excited?
I'm very excited. I'm very excited. I can't wait to be over there. I can't wait. Your energy is unbelievable. It makes me so happy, Jason.
It's just coffee. Hey, before we go, I do want to ask about the after party because we teased it earlier. You were in season 1 on it's Apple TV Plus. What I love about it is, each episode's a different genre, and yours was the musical episode, right? And you did several musical numbers, but we were crying laughing when you were doing 2 shots because, Eminem,
nice.
Eminem, you only get 1 shot. Hamilton, you're not throwing away your implied 1 shot, but you're like, no, you only get 1 shot twice. So, do you even remember all the words? Could you sing it if you?
Oh my God. I remember that part. We all get 1 shot twice. We all get 1 shot twice.
Nice.
Another. If I listen to it once, I could probably do the whole thing.
Well, you listen to it once, twice. Then you could probably.
That's true. I listened to it once, twice. The show was so fun. Lord and Miller were producing it. Chris Miller directed every episode. They are heroes of mine. They did Spider-Verse. They did
Lego Movie guys, right?
They did Lego Movie. They did 21 Jump Street. They're just, I'm like, people ask me sometimes what directors I always want to work with. They were always on my list. So it was amazing. And it was when COVID was prime. It was like right when it happened before any vaccines came out. So it was like one of the first ever productions back. So it was fucking scary too.
Yeah.
We were wearing masks every second until you started saying record.
Wow.
If you wanted to drink water, you had to go outside the building to take a drink of water. It was
Wow.
like we were figuring it out. Nobody knew what was going on, but we still wanted to make stuff to make people happy and smile. But it was so fun. And then also I have a very, very key role in that season. Yeah. So it was like for me to know that I get to sing those songs and then play like a pretty key role in the whole series was I wish I could do that show for the rest of my life. I wish I could work with those people for the rest of my life. They were amazing.
It was incredible. Highly recommended on Apple TV, folks. There are multiple seasons.
Yeah, dude. I'm really proud of that one.
Yeah, absolutely. Another one that everyone loves is Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yeah, how crazy.
I mean, we mentioned it earlier with Jim Carrey, but I want to return to it because I assume you played the Sega game growing up, like all of us.
Unbelievable. And I'm a huge video game person. When I was a kid, it was my life. Video games, I don't know how big you were into it. Maybe you're a little cooler than I was, Jason, but
No, I waited a little later to get cooler. But back then I was into it, man. Mario, Zelda, A Link to the Past for the Super Nintendo, best game.
I think that's a top 10 game of all time.
Best game ever.
Chrono Trigger. There's a couple Final Fantasies up on the list, but Ocarina of Time also was N64.
Oh, great!
So good.
You could ride the horse in that one.
Zelda movie now, which is crazy.
Why did it take so long? I feel like that's gonna do gangbusters.
I hope so. Though it's just, I wonder what they're gonna do because as someone who's beaten almost every single Zelda game, Wind Waker, I probably didn't beat Wind Waker, but there's so many different stories and so many different versions, and it's like, well, which one do you choose to start on? Like, how do you establish this whole world?
And I can imagine the Hollywood orchestra doing,
oh my goodness.
I mean, come on, it's perfect.
Incredible.
But I asked about Sonic, so how'd you prepare? Did you go back and play the game to prepare?
I did play the game. I played the first 2 games, which don't have voices, which is great. That way, you couldn't be influenced how to do my voice.
You get rings.
The script, I totally understood that. I was like, you know what this is? It's a kid who's far away from where, he's kind of like an outcast. He's in a place where he doesn't know anybody. He's incredibly lonely. He wants to connect with someone. And he's really fast. And like, because he's fast, he talks like me, which is like, he wants to get the words out and he's so excited to have a conversation. So I really took all of that and I put that into the character. And so we did a 5-minute test to try to sell the movie because it had a home and the place released it. And then we sent the 5-minute test with Mia Sonic, and we had someone else playing James Marsden character.
Right.
And we sent it out to all the studios, and Paramount bought it. And also, which was kind of a risk, and then it became incredibly lucrative for them. And I'm so proud of it because a lot of people that I meet have been like, their kids have been really influenced by it, or they were, they play the game. And so it's kind of been, that is one of those dream come true ones. Parks and Rec, that After Party are like real dream come true ones where it like has influenced people in really positive ways. So it's really exciting.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, you're pinching yourself. You're doing Dewey Duck in DuckTales. You're doing Leonardo in Rise of Ninja Turtles. Like all these things that you grew up on, now you are the voice of them for the next generation.
It's crazy. It's so awesome. Exciting that I get to be the way to intro them into those worlds, and then they can find all the ones that I watched growing up. Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely. Again, everybody, Ben Schwartz and friends at MGM National Harbor, right there near the nation's capital on September 6th. Yeah, 30th anniversary of Ripken Breaking Garrick.
I'm literally checking if you're right. It is September 6th. You nailed it. You're very good at your job. The people who are coming are great, too. It's going to be a really fun trip.
I love it. Don't miss it. Thank you so much for doing this.
Thanks, Jason. I appreciate it, brother. Nice to meet you, man.
See ya. Right. Thanks. Thanks so much for listening to Beyond the Fame with Jason Fraley. Our theme music is Scott Buckley's Clarion. Remember to give us a 5-star rating if you like what you hear. We'll see you next time.